What's going on, YouTube? Modeling that back at you with kind of an interesting update. So, have been working a little bit here and there on the Edmund Fitzgerald. However, with some projects that I have going on at work, haven't been able to get a massive amount of stuff updated. So kind of wanted to show you a little mini project that actually got assigned from work. So our company owns a restaurant, and we are in the process of kind of revamping the whole thing. In that, we are changing over a train that used to run around the bar area. It was a G-scale train, and was approached about, through the revamp, what we could do to get it to run the whole length around the entire restaurant, things like that. So went ahead and talked them into downscaling a little bit from G scale to O scale, which give us a lot more flexibility of what road names that we could run and stuff like that. Well, MTH, I should say, so through the summer months, we're planning on running a military salute train that is definitely not prototypical in any fashion. However, is just kind of a salute to military service. So got some Lionel stuff, got some MTH stuff, and as a part of that, we got this MTH set, if I can get it to brighten up, of these Army flat cars with 3 Willys Jeeps. Now, the set that we got come with 4 of these, and basically the way that they were supposed to be put together is in this fashion here, where basically you'd have the 3 Jeeps just sitting on top of the cars. You'd have these little metal or little plastic pegs that would be chocks to hold the vehicles in place and stuff like that. 2 of the cars I went ahead and just assembled as is, used some thread, or used some wire. Sorry, I don't have an exact diameter. This thing's old, label's been ripped off for ages, and tied them down. However, to give our set that we have just a little bit of something different than what you'd find anywhere else, the last 2 cars I'm going to be customizing. So this one, I'm going to actually customize in a different way to where the Jeeps will have 4 of them on this one, and they're actually going to be loaded in a side-by-side configuration. So basically just like this. And then what we'll be having up here at the front, I have a Tamiya 1/48 scale not half track, but deuce and a half, that will be at the front, locked down as well. So the nice thing is these, if you have these trains, these parts just pop off really easily. What I found to fill the holes, if you're interested in that, if you're wanting to do this, basically I had to use 1/8 inch diameter tube, and then I took and used a drill bit to bore it out for 2mm rod that then basically filled the hole pretty well. Used Mr. Color number 19 sandy brown. That is pretty much a direct color that they had used, so you can fill these nasty little black holes if you're wanting to customize these cars. So just as and not have to repaint the whole thing. Now, the cars themselves, again, this is where prototypicalness goes directly out the window. Built was in 53 and new in 53 as well. So obviously this would be Korean War era. The deuce and a half that I have actually would probably fit that, given the fact that into Korea, a lot of what they had used before they went to the 5 tons was the deuce and a halves from the Second World War, just repurposing that old stock. However, I went ahead and thought, you know what? I also have an old Bandai kit in my stash that was in 1/48 scale. So I went ahead and grabbed it out and built it here. So it's an M12. Actually just built this practically within the last like 2-3 days. Try to get the color a little better, or the brightness a little better for you. So built this one in really the last couple of days. Just quick paint job, very basic markings. Didn't do a lot of cleanup. The biggest thing I focused on was the top of the barrel, just to try to get rid of that seam if I could, and then glued it into place. So as you can see, used a piece of, grab it here, just a simple piece of balsa wood. Cut it down with the miter saw that I have, hand miter saw, and use those as chocks the way that they would have in real life. And then use some jeweler chain that then I painted with Mr. Color Steel, just to kind of tie this thing down and stuff like that. Again, super glued the tracks into place, so hopefully this thing won't go sliding all over at any point. But what's really kind of neat about it, and something again that you can do to increase the just realism and stuff like that, is like with the wires. So I went ahead and used this thin wire, looped it around the front, looped it around the tow hitch in the back. Normally they would have went on the tow hooks here in the front, but since these don't have tow hooks, I just wrapped them around the front of the frame. And then, as they would have in World War II, or the start of the war at least, basically just twisted them together. So used a pair of precision tip tweezers. These are my favorite from Hobbytown, and just twisted them up. And I think it actually looks really, again, it's a little shinier than what it would be. If I really wanted it to be truly prototypical, come back in, probably give it a coat of the steel as well, or Model Master Steel, something else. Given the fact that this is going to be running, 5 or about 10 feet in the air on a shelf, people aren't going to see that much of the detail, but it is a good way to lock these things in, but also lock them in a semi-prototypical way. So, but yeah, like I said, just wanted to show this. I know there's a lot of people out there that kind of span the gap between trains and modeling and stuff like that. And even if you're not, this is a way to take 48 scale kit that you have kicking around and not sure what to do with. You could look to get an O scale or a proto 48 if you wanted to make it truly prototypical. Flat car from the era. Take a couple of 48 scale Willys Jeeps, a couple of Shermans, again, deuce and a half, and make a military train diorama. So, just like I said, something to think about, and just kind of show you what's been taking up the bench time here over the last couple of days, and will be for the next week or so here as I get ready to get that deuce and a half built up, to get it ready to go as well. So, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, definitely post it down below. Probably won't be doing too much in the train category. Might post a video of once we get the line running around, a quick little video of it running or something like that. And yeah, so again, if you have any questions, comments, post them down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Peace.